Welcome back to the Antique FANatic. We're back out here in the shop today, and this will be part 3 / episode 3 of the series that we're doing of the fans that we got from one estate. And I didn't want to just bust it out right here and ruin the surprise. I wanted to be a little more dramatic. So let's do it the magic way. There it is. I know what you're thinking. Yay, another century. Well, you know, kind of you can't tell. It's chrome. We like chrome. This one is not a DC, though. I will say that. But there's still more to this story. So without further ado, let's do this again. There's 2 of them. Deja vu. So how cool, right? Near as I can tell, obviously these fans are closely akin to one another. I found them at the same estate sale. And a good friend I had told about them previously, he said check the serial numbers, and interestingly enough, they are, I think, 5537, L4, and L8. So they're 4 apart. But the fact that they're chrome, and that they were probably made on the same day, and they still are in existence together, that's pretty neat. So what we're going to do with these things is we're just going to kind of go through them, do a general lube, and try to clean them up, make them shine. What little bit of the chrome that's left, we're going to try to clean it up a little bit and just see what happens from there. But I just wanted to film that bit, and we'll get into little close-ups and talk about a few more things as we go along. But I had a few minutes tonight, and I thought I'd film this intro, and maybe this weekend we can actually get into cleaning on these fans. Sound like a good plan? Yeah, let's do that. These 2 centuries are listed on the tag as frame S3C, which I assume C is for chrome, -16 for 16-inch, and the model number is 263. I believe these fans were made from the early to mid 1930s. Dose chrome. Figured I'd do the up close and personal real quick. They're both oscillating fans. They're pretty basic. These are the pot metal 16-inch, and so they weren't the highest quality. And I never knew they made them in chrome, to be honest. But I guess they were in probably a hospital or something like that, and so I think they got a lot of use. I think they had a lot of use. I believe this is all the original cord. I know that's an old plug. And the head wires and everything on these things, I think this one right here, the sheathing on it is not the best, but everything underneath it looks good. So I'm going to try not to mess with that too awful much. If it runs, we're going to leave the cords alone because it's pot metal and I'm a chicken, and I'm not sure how that might come off pretty easy, but rather than take any chances, we'll clean it, call it good. We can get them to run and oscillate. But for now, I am going to shut down for the night, and we'll come back to this soon. Gonna catch you up real quick. I've been filming this in segments, so it's kind of hard for me to keep up too, when I edit. But what we're going to do today is we're going to work on these things. But since they're basically the same fan, I'm not going to show all the steps on both of them. So I'm just going to dig in and we're just going to see whatever happens. This one needs a little bit extra love. The oscillation needs some work, and you'll see that later in the video. So we're going to tackle this one first. But both of them will get cleaned and a little bit of shine. So with that said, let's start tearing them apart. So this piece, this is the oscillator cover, or what's left of it. And it broke completely off when someone tried to get that out of there. So I feel like the best course of action is I'm going to try to cut this out with one of these doohickeys. See if I can get in here and just make some cuts real gentle, and then we'll wash this out and get all the debris out, and hopefully this will just fall out, because I've got another one that good buddy Mark gave me, a junker fan. I was bad at the time, but I'm really happy now, and that'll go on there. Pretty sure that'll fit right in there where it's supposed to. So let's get to work. Let that try to soak in around that ring. Maybe that'll come on loose. It'll help it separate. We're going to have to go real super easy with this, because this is a very, very dangerous process. We want to get this out, but we don't want to jack up anything else. Okay, so this is the fan that this piece came off. This is a fan that Buddy Mark gave me. And it's the gift that keeps on giving, because as you can see, this gear is already wiped out. So we're going to try to take this gearing out, because guess what? Over here, this gear is in fantastic condition. So let's do that. Let's take the gears out, swap them, see if we can get this thing to oscillate. Do, do, do. Dude, that pulls all the way out. So we got that out, balled the temp. We're going to clean this up real good. Alright, here it is. Let's say this one over here. Clean that out. So you can pull the gear out now. Oh, wow. Look at this, kids. That thing is sheared plumb off. It's good back over here, but over here it's sheared. So we'll clean that up and show the difference real good. Now the gear just pops out down at the bottom. Okay, we're going to try to get in here and clean out some of this stuff inside of here. It's a lot. It's a mess. I'm going to try to get some of this grease out. We want this all to be clean. And then this, I don't know. I don't even know how to say it. Other than to say this was a hot mess. To use some of you young folks' vernacular. I don't know if it's poor engineering, combination of poor engineering and whatever else, but we're going to try to at least make it better, not make it worse. See, there's a glob. There's so many cracks and crevices in there for that old grease to hide. And we just want the new, or the better parts to be greased when they go back in there, so that this will oscillate and do so very well. The loose stuff, the crusty stuff out. We'll polish this up. Mind you, this is not chrome, like the fan. And obviously the chrome gearbox cover is no longer around for us to use. So we'll make do with it. Thank you, buddy Jim, for buying me all these handy dandy brushes. Appreciate that. Okay, here's the good stuff. First of all, the gear that came out of this chrome century it's missing half its teeth. See that? Not good. Fan that Buddy Mark gave me has all its teeth. Still needs to be cleaned a little bit more, but man, how lucky can you be? Look at that, how bad that is. This thing was ran like crazy. And the crazy, I mean, I know that's, I'm repeating myself, but the thing that's nuts about this thing, the fan this came out of looked like it had been beat to death. Missing the switch, rusted out, but as far as oscillation, it just hadn't been used that much. Thankfully, it's going to live on. And this is the gear cap that came off. Here's a fun story. These are both of the caps that go on the end of the shaft where this slides through. They screw in, I think, right, to hold that in the side of the oscillator housing. Well, these are opposite hand threads. And this is the one that came out of the chrome fan. And you can tell somebody tried to unscrew it with all their might and they about stripped it out. Luckily, they didn't destroy the oscillator housing. But this is the one that came out of the Mark donation fan. And they tried to go the other way there too, but they didn't try as hard as this guy did. So we may have a brass screw on a chrome fan just because it's in better condition, or if I can clean this one up a little bit, I may put it back in. I don't know. Just wanted to show you, everything tells a story. That's so cool. And the ball detents, I'm going to make sure those are nice and springy, because that's very, very important. So we'll soak those in some more PB Blaster, and I don't know which one I'll use. Whichever one's the springiest. But both of these shafts are the same, and they're in good shape, so I'll save them, one of them, for parts later. Anyway, I'm going to close the shop for tonight. I'm tired. Peace out. Doo-doo-doo. I'm going to grease it real good and put the cap back on it. Hopefully everything works all right. These fans were not well-built fans, unfortunately. They're beautiful, and they're worth preserving. That ought to be enough for a test run. So we'll just leave that alone for now. Cap it off and wipe it down. There we go. That'll get us running. Wipe off the excess. If you like videos about antiques that are almost as fragile as your sanity, give this video a thumbs up, click subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of our future unraveling. Well, that works great. That means we can maybe break this blade loose. Good gravy. Alright. This is an interesting situation. That came out real simple. Now we just gotta somehow work that blade off. Time out. We'll see if the little heat works. Don't breathe. There it is. Little heat goes a long way, boys and girls. Boy, we needed to get that off. Look at that, gross. Let's see if we can get the rest of this off. There it is. I've never taken one of these apart before. I'm going to take this part out and try to see what's going on underneath there as far as the lubrication, the wicking, see what we can do there. This is pot metal, and there's previously been some damage where these grooves are, where the struts for the cage go. See, they're snapping off. So I'm going to be super careful with this piece and try to just clean it up gently and get it to where we can get the lube in there, and then we'll just clean the fan overall and try to put it back together, because this makes me nervous. I gotta quit messing with centuries or I'm gonna need therapy. Some wool wicking down in there. Wool wicking looks pretty good. Pretty clean in there. Of course, there's no vent holes, so that would be why. Windings look really good, solid. Again, no vent holes, so no, except for the lubrication that oozes out. It's all clean inside. We'll clean the bearing surfaces and clean some of the crud off the outside. Just gonna halfway do it because I'm lazy, and that looks like that's baked on, caked on. If I scrub too much though, I'll scrub all the way through that chrome plating, and that's probably all that's holding that pot metal together. reassembly. Well, we got these things cleaned up as best as they're going to get, or the best that I'm going to do, because I'm exhausted and I don't want to mess with them anymore. Centuries, I think we all can agree as fan collectors, we have a love-hate relationship with some of them. Yeah, all you sidewinders and side gears and all you fancy people, meh. But all of us who have to deal with the hot metal garbage, we do our best. Anywho, what did we do? We went through, had to do some oscillation work on this bad boy. Thanks to Mark for the parts fan. Went through, lubed them up, both clean. I didn't do, if you said, hey, why didn't you replace the cords and do new felt? Amazingly, the felt on the bottom is in good shape. And the cord is tattered on the outer sheathing, but the inside is fine and is very flexible. So I'm leaving it alone because I don't care that much, to be quite honest with you. The head wires are the same. They run. Everything checks out fine. So for now, we're going to just leave them a little bit shinier than they were before, and I'm good with that. So I'm going to, since we got both of them up here, I don't know if I'm going to try to run both of them at the same time or not. Maybe. You'll have to wait just a little bit and see if I get brave. But I'm going to reposition the camera because I just don't have enough space right now. And we'll get one of these running for you to see. It's chaos. Chaos, I tell you. Home chaos. Say what you will about these bad boys. They're a little crusty, a little rusty. But boy, when you crank them up, they put out some air. Appreciate your support as always. We hope you had a good time. That's really all we need. We'll see you on the next episode of the Antique FANatic. God bless.